The Nun 2 is one of the most excessively dull and stupid films I've seen in 2023. Starting with the story, this film is broken down like many are, in an A story and a B story. The A story is about Irene, Sister Irene from the first Nun film. But generally, their story is just one of wandering about, trying to figure out what's going on and why it's going on. And Sister Irene is plagued by these visions. She has visions of a little relic she has to go get, and then she just does the things the vision tells her. In fact, it's one of the least interesting stories that I could possibly imagine. It's just characters walking between set pieces, seeing visions, and then following the visions. They don't even have to do any work, really. It's painful to sit through a movie that has absolutely no stakes or consequences, and this A story specifically has none, has zero. The demon isn't even a part of it until the last 20 minutes. That's shocking. The other character in this A story is her fellow companion, played by Stormy Reed, I think is her name. But she doesn't really want to be a nun. She doesn't want to be a part of this, whatever they're called, abbeys. Her mom sent her there because for whatever reason, and so she's a bit of a rebel. She smokes. Ooh, she learns that her faith is cool or whatever, and then she does nothing with it. She learns about faith and she sees a miracle, and then the movie just immediately stops.
Valak uses Maurice to try and find an old relic.
In the hands of a demon, it would be unthinkable.
And that brings us to the B story, which manages to be even less interesting than the A story. Now, the A story has almost no stakes or consequences whatsoever. The demon isn't even a part of it. Irene is just wandering about. The B story has somehow less going on, and yet the demon is a major part of it. The demon wants the eyeballs, okay? For whatever reason. I don't even know. It's just like a relic that the demon wants because it wants saint powers. I think that's actually the explanation. So you would think that we would get scenes of Maurice like rooting around, trying to find this relic. And at no point does that happen. In fact, he frequently does nothing.
Stripped of power.
It wants that power back.
You would want that demon to try and find the relic to add a ticking clock. Oh man, if Sister Irene doesn't get there in time, the demon's gonna get it, and this is gonna be real bad. No. That's actual writing. In this case, it's the demon terrorizes kids by not doing anything and just showing up in places. And then it goes, hi, and then disappears. If you thought that this was bad, we haven't even talked about the third act yet. Or the filmmaking, for that matter. Or even any of the characters other than the one that has an arc. The rules of a horror movie are immensely important to understand what we should be afraid of. If I don't know what the demon can do, I don't know why I should be scared of it particularly. And in this, it seems like it can do whatever it wants. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna conjure a goat demon out of nowhere. Okay, I'll just conjure a hag zombie version of the mistress of this academy. How could it do any of this? I don't know. It's just doing it for whatever reason. And there's a part in the movie, at least 2 times, when characters say the demon is going to play on your fear. It's going to play on what makes you scared. Kind of like Pennywise the Clown, you know? It. But in this one, that never happens. The demon just is the nun form, which would have made sense in the first one because it was sort of hiding and then playing on the faith of the nuns in the abbey. That makes sense. It wants to be a nun so that it can make them lose their faith. Okay, I get it. This one is like, why is it even that form anymore? It's just that because we recognize it. What can it do? I don't know. What's this relic that it wants? Why does it want it? I don't know. What does the relic even do? Who knows? The relic, at one point they put it up in its face and it makes it pass out, and then it doesn't, and it grabs it, and then it has eyes and can like levitate off the ground. What did any of that mean?
You send that thing. Back to hell.
And it feels like the film itself doesn't even have answers to these questions. So it just leaves it up to the audience to hope that they can fill in the blanks. And you just can't. There's certain things that we need to know. We need to know why certain things are happening, we need to know how certain things are happening, and we need to know how our characters are going to beat it. But frequently, it falls back onto the option of, oh, Irene has a vision, and that's how we're gonna beat it. And it's so lazy. Sister Irene in this is super overpowered as well. Much like the demon, I don't know what she can really do or accomplish or why. She has visions that literally tell her the whole plot, the MacGuffin she needs to get, and how to beat the demon. She doesn't find that out. Her brain tells her in a vision form, so it's not fun or interesting for the audience. She can literally, not figurative, but literally turn wine into the blood of Christ. She can get caught on fire and not burn. She's like overpowered. She's like a god. How do you even beat her? You can't. All roads have led here to the third act, which we've already discussed a little bit of. It's just terrible. Much like the rest of the movie, it's just terrible. And what happens for the rest of this 20-minute third act is just a bunch of noise. It really is. You don't care about any of these characters. You don't really care what's happening. So it ends up just kind of being visual noise. Characters just run around, a bell falls through a tower and explodes on the ground, Sister Irene gets lit on fire, she turns wine into the blood of Christ and then it explodes and kills the demon. It's a mess. Sister Irene versus the demon should have been something. It should have been anything, really, and it isn't. And all while this is happening, we're supposed to care about a bunch of girls wandering around, too. They're being accosted by a little goat demon guy who's, like, running at them, who does nothing. He, like, drives his horn through one girl, and that's about the extent of what he can do to them. There's the zombie hag woman who grabs somebody by the head and then literally disappears. Never shows up again. This demon's, like, the biggest punk bitch ever. It's like a level 0 demon. It does nothing. It accomplishes nothing. The only time it does anything is when it steals the relic from Sister Irene, and it only does that because it's shoved in its face. Like, the demon is the worst. It's so bad at being a demon. It can conjure up whatever it wants, apparently, but those conjurings can't do anything. And then the demon can't do anything either. Can't even light a girl on fire properly. I can't believe how bad this movie is. It's the worst movie I've seen in this Conjuring universe, and that includes the first Nun. It's just terrible. I haven't seen the original Annabelle movie, but the other Annabelles I have seen are better than this. This is just the worst thing. I can't believe it. There's so little in redeeming qualities to this. The performances are good. The Farmiga, the daughter of Vera Farmiga, what's her name? Something Farmiga is beautiful. Don't see it. It's not even good for fall. There's no good atmosphere. There's no vibes, you know? There's no pumpkins or nothing that's fun. It just sucks.